Hello, my name is Tracy James, and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are, well, off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about movies in my collection. In this episode, I'm sitting with Sean Archer, a friend who apparently loves The Abyss and insisted on doing this episode. We are going to be talking about that movie, of course, The Abyss, and Accepted. Hi, Sean.
Happy to be here. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for joining me. I know you are very excited to talk about The Abyss.
Yes.
So I'm just going to let you go right ahead.
Oh, you want me to just ramble on about it?
Oh, we can. Well, so the copy of the movie that I have, and both of us watched actually, is a extended edition of it, DVD, that has 20 extra minutes in it.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that.
Okay. And according to the little booklet that came with the DVD, can you remember like the last time you saw a DVD that had like booklets and stuff in it? I used to love those things, going through them and stuff.
When I bought Generation Kill for my dad, it's an HBO miniseries.
Yeah.
It came with a booklet that gave all the, I think the Marines, while they're slaying. It was really cool. Yeah. It still has, anyways.
They never do that anymore with like CDs, DVDs, whatever. It's just the disc.
Oh, and the Evil Dead book. Remember the Evil Dead book? It was like the Book of the Dead.
Yes.
And you got like the pages from the Necronomicon. It's so cool.
But those are from like years ago, though.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, they're old. But anyways, according to that booklet, there's 30 changes that add up to those 28 minutes, including 2 things in the credit sequences. Mm-hmm. And, well, what did you think about this special edition?
I found the sing-along really funny.
God,
I don't know, it comes out of nowhere. I do not remember that. That has to be part of the special edition, right?
I don't know, actually. I could
Because I think I remember that. That isn't a weird spot in the movie. And do you remember? I don't remember it at all.
I tell you the truth, when I was watching this, I realized I forgot about 98% of this movie.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that they were on a platform, there was an alien underground.
NTI.
I was like, sorry, NTI. I didn't remember any of like the military stuff. I didn't remember the reason why they were down there. Well, I didn't remember the moving oil rig. I didn't remember
all
any
the stuff
of
with the news reports and the Russian and American Navy. I don't remember that either. I think that's all added.
No, but even like the opening sequence, like
that's
the sub crashed and whatever.
Those are my favorite parts of the movie.
And the reason why they were under there, I didn't remember any of it.
Oh, wow.
None of it. Because I put in that movie to watch, and I was just like, is this the right movie? I don't think this is the right movie. And then at Harry showed, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the right movie.
Is this Hunter in October?
I was like, what is even going on right now?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I didn't remember any of it.
Well, like those are my favorite scenes of the movie, the sub scenes, especially like when they go into it. The dead bodies look so realistic.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it as a kid. I think I don't know if I watched the movie from start to finish as a kid. But it was always on TV, and the scenes with the dead bodies and all the junk in the sub floating around used to freak me out.
Well, because they look about right.
I mean, they must be underwater because this is pre-CGI, except for that one scene with the.
Oh no! They built like a giant tank
and they're all underwater, and it looks beautiful. It's kind of a cop because dead bodies floating around, but it looks amazing. And as a kid, I'd be like the character Jammer, freaking out, and I would definitely have a panic attack.
Yeah, because they, I do remember they did have like a big tank that they filmed it in, and so they did like underwater scenes underwater. Yeah. So that's why, like, the floating thing wasn't something done afterwards. It wasn't, like, people in green suits on strings holding things in the background or anything weird. Yeah. It was actually underwater. They were in a suit. They were doing a thing, and that's why it looked so good.
I wonder why, because this movie was a bomb when it came out.
Yes.
And so is Waterworld, one of the most epic bombs.
It was a horrible movie.
But it was also a lot of filming underwater and with water sets.
And they had the biggest set, like, in history.
Well, it got washed away by a hurricane, I think, or
something
which
like
caught, it's millions of dollars gone. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if because of those two movies, we don't see, like, you and me saw The Meg in theaters recently.
Yes.
And there's a lot of underwater scenes where they're in, like, little mini subs. I'm not sure what they're called. Yeah. And they're CGI. They look okay. Mm-hmm. But when you compare it to this movie, especially, like, the scene when they're searching for the sub, and then they come up on it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know her name, but I'll call her Meg Marion. Because she's the Prince of Thieves.
Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
I think her character's Lindsay or something like that. But,
yes.
But she's in the one little sub, like, taking shots, and you just see them trying to get into the...
I don't know if that part is underwater or not.
Oh, well, I mean, that's got to be done with models, I'm guessing.
I think so.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
But I think that's one of the reasons why movies like older movies are aging so well, it's because they did practical effects and they actually did the thing.
And that's why the prequels look so bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah. But the Star Wars prequels, it's way more than just the CG. There's a lot wrong with that. I think that's exactly what happens when you throw too much money at something and people don't have to cut corners and people don't actually have to move the technology forward. Mm-hmm. They're just like, no, just CG everything. Just everything. Just CG. Yeah. And you're just like, so you have a person walking around in a box and then you make the world around them. Yeah. It doesn't really work. And
Cameron is later movies have a lot of CG in them, but he still uses a ton of practical, which is why I like them, I think, still.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of him. And maybe not Avatar so much, but everything pre-Avatar, I really, really like.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. He had a real talent for combining a good story and a well thought out story with really good effects and like good action sequences and all that kind of stuff. And he was very much into practical effects, and he spent the money there instead of trying to CG things. He only CG'd really important sections of stuff. Yeah. Right?
I think his biggest flaw is his writing, especially dialogue. I noticed a few lines in this movie. I was like, ugh.
Well, also, I think that's also a product of the 90s, right? Because especially how they talk to and about Lindsay when she's showing up. Yeah. You're just like,
there's Ice Bitch or there's Queen Bitch.
Automatically. And you're like, I understand she's a hard ass, but everybody does everything possible to insult her to her face and behind her back because she's a woman who, like at one point in time, Ed Harris's character says he's talking to, I think it's the other girl or like one of the other guys, and he's talking about why his marriage broke up, and it was because she was ambitious and was always going for something, and they both nod at each other like, that's the real reason why marriages break up, because the woman has ambition.
She's too ambitious.
And you're like, how? What? That's not that's not even a thing. It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, maybe play devil's advocate. They are oil workers, so I don't know how progressive they would be.
I mean,
and it is what, 89.
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything bad about oil workers. There's probably geniuses down there.
Yeah,
I don't know. But she's an engineer, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and she's
brilliant. Obviously,
she's brilliant, and she was making these things. Why not put your talent to work?
And she kicks ass throughout the whole movie. She's putting out a fire. She's using the rover to attack. I always forget the actor's name. Michael. He's in a ton of Cameron movies.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his last name.
But Biehn?
We can just call him like he's John Connor's father.
We're just gonna call him all different.
Yeah. For movies people know better.
We'll call him Kyle.
Kyle Reese. That's right. Thank you.
No, oh my god.
I love him, by the way. I think he's great in this.
Well, yeah, because he was amazing in Aliens as Hicks.
Yep.
And who's the other thing that he was in? He's in The Rock.
He's in Tombstone. Yeah, he's in The Rock.
Tombstone. Yeah. He's in a crap load of things.
He's in the latest thing I can think of him in is what was that double feature with Quentin Tarantino and
the Grindhouse.
Yeah, he was in Planet Terror. He was the sheriff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and his brother was the cook.
Yes. Okay. Yes, he was, because that means they would have both been death proof as well, because they used the sheriff.
No, they used the marshal and the marshal's son, I think, or sorry, the Texas Ranger.
Yes.
He's in both movies. Yeah. Him and his son are in both movies.
And that guy was in Kill Bill as well as a Texas Ranger.
Yes, he's an actor.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was happy to see him in there. But of course, he was the one who went like crazy. He's so good at it.
Yeah, he's so good at it. Like his hand shaking, the sweat, his
and he's like trying to hide it, and then he's just like,
yeah, he's cutting his arm under the table.
Yeah,
I don't know how nobody notices that, but like if I'm sitting funny and I'm just like my eyes are bulging, I'm completely white, sweat dripping down my face. I think people would.
Yeah, but I think it's because they're already in a really stressful situation, so they expect people to not be acting normal.
That's true.
And also because they're concentrating on so many other things, they're not actually paying attention to the one dude. I think if it was just like a couple of people at lunch at work, you know, and they're having like subs or something, they're like, "What's up with that guy?"
Oh, that's true. It's probably not. It's not very well lit down there.
Yeah. So they're just like, "Oh no, it's just reflections of his face."
But back to Lindsay, she's the first one I think catches it. Mm-hmm. Like she's like a lot of his movies. There's always a kick-ass woman in it.
Yeah.
There's one other female character. She's
the black.
She's fine, I guess, but she's not like.
She doesn't really. But
she doesn't have a lot to do.
She pilots the underwater rover thing.
She likes country music. We know they don't really know much more.
They don't really expand that much about it. And yes, I did check the booklet. That sing along was an addition.
Okay,
to it.
I thought so.
You were correct.
Yeah, that and the news reports, and then like they go to the man on the street.
Yeah,
which was like, what is so small?
Yeah, I mean,
it looks bad. Like, I mean,
but I think it was supposed to sort of get a feel for the society at the time, or something.
for the dumb extended ending.
Yeah,
which I love the theatrical ending. I do not like the.
As I said, I do not even remember what I remember that ending.
Do you want to jump ahead to the ending, or?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
we'll get there.
Yeah. We could jump wherever you want. It's fine. But all I'm saying is, the only ending I remember is the one in this extended edition. I don't remember what the
I've never seen that before. I think I've read about it, but I've never seen it.
But what's the theatrical ending?
So after Ed Harris, he types out "I love you, goodbye," whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're all crying. He gets picked up by the alien. Mm-hmm. He's brought to their underwater city. Mm-hmm. The water disappears. The way I remember it is he asks them why he saved them, and then instead of talking through news reports, they just type out like the message he sent to Lindsay.
Oh, so they cut out all of the
and then it's just like then it cuts back to the rig, and Bud's like, "Oh, I'm back. You're gonna hold on to your butts, or you're gonna love this," or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And then it rises up.
So the ship does come out of the water.
Yes, yeah, that happens. Like the waves threatening every U.S. or every city. The weird news reports. The people on the beach. That is not.
Well, because when you said the ending was different, I thought you meant like the other ship, they don't get saved, and that ship doesn't come out of the water or something. But no, it's just like that interaction is like 10 times shorter, and you're just like, whatever, right?
The extended version did answer some questions for me though, because I never understood why the SEALs had to arm the nuke, why they were so desperate to do it, because I don't think the theatrical shows that above them they accidentally sunk a Russian ship and they're about to go to World War III. I don't remember the theatrical really pushing that. I just remember them saying they think the NTIs or the UFO whatever are Russian submersible. So that's why they armed the nuke, and I was always like, that's stupid.
No, well,
I never understood that.
No, but originally the reason why they armed the nuke was to destroy the ship that was down there because they didn't want the Russians to get their hand on it. But then they found the NTIs. NTIs, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Non-terrestrial something? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Isn't it conspiracy? Anyways.
But the reason why he sends it down there was because he's going crazy, was convinced, no, they're here to kill us, whatever. But technically it was kind of true, because they were threatening to kill everybody.
But subs have sunk in the past. They've lost nukes all the time. You never arm another nuke to take out other nukes.
I don't know. But, that
I think it's kind of crazy.
But I think it was just sort of the thing to put in there because, it's military going crazy.
Yeah.
Look how psychotic these people are. Like, let's blow everything up.
Which is kind of the theme of the movie, especially in the extended version, where we're killing each other. And I think there's a line, what's that comedian's name who's up top?
Oh, it's
Chris something.
Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott. Him or the boss say to like the main the naval commander, it's like, you're gonna be out of a job soon. I was like, whatever. We're still gonna keep killing each other even at these things.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was wondering, what was the point of the aliens then? Like, why? Because they're just like, oh, you're killing each other, so I guess we're just gonna try and kill all of you because we don't like it. Like, I don't understand what was the
ending is kind of weak. I'll give you that.
It's
not a perfect movie for me. Like the alien stuff is kind of thrown in. I mean, sorry, the underwater aliens or whatever they are, they're kind of thrown in there a bit. Yeah. And I don't think they thought enough about it. They probably spent too much time on the first, I'd say, almost hour and 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's long time before you meet any of the aliens.
Or you see them briefly, like, Lindsay sees them, takes pictures of them.
Technically you see them right at the beginning of the movie when
that's true,
right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that causes them to crash.
Yeah.
Because they, of course, freak out automatically because everything's an enemy.
Yeah, and every time they pass you, it's like what do you call it? Awake, but it turns off technology for like a minute.
Yeah.
So.
But and then you see that part, and then you don't see them for ever until Lindsay sees it, and then she goes back out again and then takes pictures of it. But it's still about 45 minutes, and then an hour and 15 minutes or something before you actually there's an actual interaction.
And even when it's odd that they kill the main protagonist, the villain,
antagonist.
Kyle Reese. When they kill Kyle Reese, there's another 45 minutes to an hour left of the movie.
Yeah.
And which I still like parts of a lot of it, but it's kind of odd. It's not normal.
Well, because I think
which I kind of
there was
appreciate.
no point to having him around anymore at that point, right? Because they're definitely still in a situation that they have to figure out how to get out of. So there's still that tension. We have something to do. We have to get out, right? But having him there is just sort of a deterrent to just doing something. And I don't know. I think it worked out.
Oh yeah, no, I like it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
His death scene's really good too.
Oh yeah, the whole I'm sorry, those submersibles are not that fast.
Oh,
so for them,
yeah, you're right. That's so
for
true.
them ramming into each other the way they have it in there, like they actually made it intense.
Yeah,
but really it's like
in real life.
Yeah, they're more like kids on tricycles, pedaling towards each other,
or like two golf carts underwater.
Yeah, it's not.
It'd be very slow.
But yeah, they did it really, really well.
Yeah.
I liked how they did that.
It so holds up.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's models and you can see them. You can see the people inside them. I don't know how they did that.
They probably just have models in it.
Yeah, but man, it's so cool.
It's good. Yeah. Or maybe when they did because I know there was a couple of shots of them from outside and they're in the bubble.
Yep.
So maybe that part was in a tank.
They somehow added around it.
Yeah.
Because CGI was starting to come around. The scene with the water, with the aliens coming to the rig. Yeah. And they're using the water. That's the precursor to the T-1000.
Yeah.
That's the same stuff. The same technology. Yeah. CGI.
What I found really weird about that scene is that she meets the alien, sticks her finger in its face, and then licks her finger. You don't know what that is.
You don't know what it is.
It's like if somebody walks up to you, sticks their finger up your nose, and then puts it in your mouth. That's disgusting.
Booger.
What?
Yeah, she's lucky with salt water.
Yeah, she's like, salt water. I'm like, are you sure?
She just drops dead suddenly.
Oh, God. Because they have no idea what's causing it. Yes, I mean, it's not, at this point, they know the aliens exist, so it's not a leap to say that it's the aliens, but they don't know how their technology works, they don't know how they're making that happen, so why, it goes back to my theory about, dumb, smart people in movies, which frustrate me.
Ugh, the Alien franchise.
Oh my God. The last couple of movies. Okay, we're not talking about that right now. Okay. That is a much too long of a tangent for me to go on.
Yeah.
But it's when you have people in movies that are supposed to be scientists and, the best people in their field and all that kind of stuff, and then they go out and do something blatantly stupid and against a character of a person who is that smart, and then it gets them into a situation. You're like, of course you're going to end up there.
It's just lazy writing.
It's lazy writing. How do we get them in this situation? How about we have, the doctor who does brain surgery stick a fork in his head? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. And what? What? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Or a guy who studied poison his whole life. I don't know what let's drink it.
That's a good example.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, the Alien franchise. I mean, do you want to get into it? But that's the worst examples of that.
Yeah,
I can think of 3 right now. It's ridiculous.
Well, because especially what is it? Prometheus.
Ugh.
And what's the name of the one that came out afterwards?
Yeah,
don't worry, it's fine. But the whole point is especially in Prometheus, you have a ship of people who are the best in their field. They're scientists and geologists and all this kind of stuff. You go on an alien planet, you walk out of your ship and you're just it says we can breathe the air. Take off your helmet. Yeah. Just because you can breathe the air doesn't mean there's nothing in the air that can kill you.
The zoologist in that movie, when it's a claw thing comes up and he's he starts putting his finger and hand towards it. And then it breaks his arm. Of course it's going to...
it just doesn't make any sense,
No.
And stuff like that just drives me nuts. If you have, a moron on a ship with smart people, fine. The moron runs away and does something stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't have the actual smart people do the stupid thing.
But I wouldn't say Abyss has too much of that, though.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't... I mean, I think she just... you get a sense from her that she trusts these things and she thinks they're friendly. So, she, from her point of view... It would never hurt me.
Yeah, but she's also paying attention to their interaction. She doesn't try to contact them right away, because at first, when she first sees them, they freak her out. Yeah. Because she gets back on the ship, my power went out, and these things are going by, blah, 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 blah. But by the third time she sees them, no, it's the second time where she reaches out and touches one of them.
Yeah.
But she's also protected, and she's in a suit and whatever. She's not, trying to do something dumb, grab it and pull it inside or anything.
Yeah.
And so by the third time, she's no, they don't, they're curious about us we are curious about them. Yeah. That's what's happening. And that's acceptable to me. So,
yeah.
But I'm glad it kind of works out that they stay intelligent people throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, he throws his ring into a toilet full of green gook. And I didn't notice, actually, his hand is... Oh, sorry, it's blue gook.
Blue for the rest of the movie.
I never noticed that. Yeah. I probably thought it was like sludge or something. Yeah. But I caught it this time.
But they actually mentioned it like 3 times.
Yeah.
The movie. They're like, your hand's blue, right?
I only caught them mentioning it once, and then I every time after that I noticed it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool.
I'm sorry, there is a hydraulic door closing, and you stick your hand in the door.
Oh, yeah.
Your ring is there. What is your ring made out of? Like, what is that ring made out of?
Adamantium.
Oh, God. I was just like, wait, how is that even possible?
This is actually a Marvel movie. I didn't know he was.
Oh, he's a superhero, yeah. Being bitten by radioactive water.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I like it.
It was their lame Aquaman attempt.
Oh, it's the prequel. I get it. Yes. What else? So there was a couple of cameos in there. You already mentioned Chris Elliott.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, the song "Stand" by R.E.M. gets stuck in my head.
Why?
And it's a very stupid reference that nobody gets.
Is it from the Paperboy? That's what I remember him from. It was like a short-lived TV show.
There you go, and that's exactly what it is.
Is it?
It's a show called Get a Life.
Oh.
And I had to look it up, and based on the description, I'm like, that's what this show was about? Mm-hmm. I had no idea. Then I saw the intro, I'm like, this is definitely the show, and that's where the song comes from.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm so used to him being just the flat-out idiot based on, like, he did, like, Cabin Boy and, like, all those... He's
got the screwed-up hand in, I think, Scream 2.
Scary Movie.
I'm sorry, Scary Movie. Scary Movie 2.
He's that guy.
He's the butler, and he's got a freaky hand.
Yeah, he's always in like these ridiculous shows. But then you see him randomly, like, before he started doing that, he was doing, like, military dude. Like, he was still, like, the comic relief.
He's still a little sassy.
But he wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I was like, what? There's also Ken Jenkins in there.
Ken Jenkins? Who's that?
The old guy who was in, like, Scrubs and...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's in there.
Yeah.
He's always, like, in a movie, he's
up top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that guy.
That's right. Yeah, he's the crotchety old Scrubs doctor.
Yeah. And then there's Michael Beach, the black guy, who's in, like, Third Watch.
Oh, yeah.
And all that
and the opening sub scene.
Yeah, so he's in there. And I was like, oh, those guys have been around for a while.
Yeah, this is an old movie.
Yeah.
I was only 7 when it came out.
Oh,
I think.
Oh. No, I was only 9.
Yeah.
I was still relatively young. I can admit that.
Yes.
I'm okay with it.
She was 15.
But everybody else was just like random military dudes that I don't think I recognize.
Yeah, even the people on the rig, like down below.
Yeah.
I looked some of them up. A bunch of them have a lot of IMDb credits, but I don't know if their hair is different.
Apparently, one of them played Michael Myers in Halloween 2.
Probably Jammer, because the really tall guy. The guy who passes out in the sub.
Yeah, maybe it was
It's probably him.
I looked it up. I didn't take note who it was.
Yeah, it's got to be him.
Yeah.
Unless it's Ed Harris, and no one knows. Did you know Ed Harris hated working on this movie? And he hates James Cameron?
Really?
There's a scene where he's underwater, and he's getting from... Like, where he's swimming?
Oh, I read this.
Yeah,
yes.
And so he was supposed to have oxygen in between, like, takes. Mm-hmm. And I guess one of them, when he swam to, didn't have oxygen. So he had to swim to the next one right away. And it panicked him. And they got it on film, and it looks good. But I think he punched James Cameron for it.
Yeah, because he kept filming while he was pretty much drowning.
Yeah, which is insane.
Which is nuts. Like, that's putting people in serious danger.
Yeah, he's a good director, but he's a dick. Pardon my French.
But he got the shot. Like,
good job, James.
Oh, I'd punch him in the face.
Yeah, that's a little overboard. It's a movie.
Yeah. And my last note is the mothership out of water looks real lame.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. It's
but that's the thing. Like, so the aliens, when they're out of water, are they like jellyfish and they're just gonna like flop on the ground? Like, I don't
know
how that would be.
Maybe they'll set up like some kind of like conference on top of it, and that's where they must have to go down into the city.
I guess.
Or maybe they have suits they can wear to come up. Who knows?
Okay. So they have like bubble suits that are filled with water, so they can walk.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that's because when I saw the ship come out of the water, I'm like, where did all the cool lights go and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. And I'm like, but the alien dudes are see-through and they light up. So out of water, they must look like, like glow sticks that have died out, and then somebody threw plastic on it. Like,
yeah, I never thought of that. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was just like, that looks so lame out of water.
Yeah, I kind of hate to agree with you, but yeah.
But that thing was huge, though. Because, the tanker on it was like in like a tiny.
Yeah, you can tell by the scale with all the ships.
Yeah,
and then all those other ships. I remember, like before watching the extended version, I realized I didn't understand why there's so many ships being picked up by it.
Yeah, but that's just because it was so big, and they had military vessels around
it's
there.
The Russian ships, it's the American ships, so like it's all.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that's going to stop a war. I think that's going to start a war.
We both love Star Trek, but I don't have much hope for humanity getting over war.
Oh, not yet. No.
And well, we need World War III first, according to Star Trek.
Yes,
and then
which is going to be in 2064.
I think so, and then we need the Clone Wars, the
Augment Wars.
Augment Wars, thank you. Yeah, so then we'll stop killing each other.
Okay. No, because isn't there there's also. There was the transition where, oh my god, what was it called? Because they covered this in Deep Space Nine, where they had the transition between where people were losing their jobs because they were moving to a society that didn't need jobs, and people were like, what's the point? And they had like a whole bunch of riots and stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, what were they called? Oh, I can't remember. My nerdness is failing me right now.
Is that when Sisko goes back in time as a sports writer?
That one's further back because he goes back to like the 1940s.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's dealing with racism.
It was like in the 2100s or something.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
And so there's a whole bunch of because people don't want to give up their jobs. They don't want to give up like their money, and they're like, how am I going to survive?
Oh, cool.
And people are. And so he's with the people that are fighting against it because they have to make sure that the thing actually happens still, to make sure society.
Ooh, I've never seen that one.
Yeah. So that one's in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. It's something riots. And then after that was concluded, people were just like, oh, we don't really need jobs because this is how it's going to work. And we have to, that's when they start building the Federation. And
that's not how humans work.
Yeah,
I don't.
Not at all. But I mean, I think it's really good that, especially later episodes of the show, like if you go into, not really Next Generation, but Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and also Enterprise, they show that there was a lot of people. It wasn't like an easy transition and now we're holier than thou. It was more of a like, no, this took a lot of time.
Okay.
People died, there were wars, there was all this kind of stuff.
So the Federation killed all the non-Federation people, essentially.
No, they didn't kill the non-Federation, but what happened was they, quote unquote, suppressed the riots.
Oh, okay.
No, but it's the usual, like, what do you call it? The ruling class takes over kind of thing. But it's not like they didn't murder everybody. That's not what they did.
Everybody, okay. They only murdered some people.
Some people. Well, because they also did like terrorist acts where they'd like bomb buildings randomly.
Okay.
That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So people did die.
Yeah. But
it was more of a getting used to a different sort of society where you don't need money, and people I can understand why people wouldn't understand a concept. They're like, well, what am I supposed to do? What's the point? How am I supposed to live? How am I supposed to get food? And then people are just like, oh, we'll just give you stuff. And you're like, but how does that work?
Yeah.
Because people, like now, if you think about it, if like the government comes to you and it's like, look, you have no job, you don't have any money, but if you do work or if you do this, you will be subsidized and everything will be
so universal basic income.
Pretty much.
Thanks, Rob Ford.
No, but the thing is, it turns into the fact that people work because they want to work, and then
because they want to have a purpose.
It's more of like it turns into more of like a trade-based society than a money-based society.
Yeah, capitalism out the window.
Out the window, yeah. But they do, of course, if you watch Star Trek, they do still interact with cultures and societies that are money-based.
Ferengi.
The Ferengi, mainly.
Yeah.
But there's lots of cultures out there that still do it. I mean,
that's true.
Cardassians do, and Bajorans and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like, it's still there. They still understand the concept of it.
Yeah.
They just don't need to rely on it as much. Or it's not the thing that drives them forward. Some of the things that drive them forward, though, is, like, power. People are power hungry.
Oh, yeah. You always get evil admirals. And so this has been Trek Talk with Tracy and Sean.
Yes.
This has become a Star Trek podcast.
Okay, so let's...
Sorry.
Okay, so before... Sorry, we can literally talk about Star Trek all day. Okay. So we're gonna go back. Yeah. We're gonna go all the way back and go back to talking about The Abyss. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yay! So, any other notes on The Abyss?
What do you think about the scene where they bring Lindsay back to life? That scene is hard to watch.
It's very hard to watch.
It's like, wow.
It's really hard.
And I've seen that I've seen it 10, 15 times probably, and it's just like.
Well, that's the thing. I was watching it and I'm like, oh, she really does look like
she does.
Looks dead.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, I'm really glad he doesn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
But there is like, so I took a CPR course a few years ago,
mm-hmm.
and like, I guess they didn't want. They're like, look, it is something that'll save lives, but unlike on TV. And where they have like
it breaks bones.
The paddles and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not that it just breaks bones. It's that it doesn't work like 90% of the time. It's not like in TV where like almost every time.
Every single drowning. Mitch Buchanan's gonna save her every single time.
And every episode of like ER or Grey's Anatomy, as soon as the paddles hit the chest, the person wakes up. No.
Well, most doctors and nurses don't want that. Even if they die, they don't want that. Like they sign what is it, DNRs or
yes.
Because they know what if you do survive it. If the off chance you do, mm-hmm. your quality of life is bad. Rib cages are broken. I can't remember what the other reasons were. But
isn't it something to do with your muscles?
Yeah, like especially if you're older. Like she's a young woman in the movie, but I mean, mm-hmm. but it's not good for your body.
Yeah.
But you're right, it doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, and I was like, I heard that, I was like, damn it, I want to save lives.
Not today, Tracy.
Oh god. Yeah, but I mean, it's still something good to know because like if you have, for example, somebody who's choking or somebody who's just passed out, it still work. Like you can still do things that's part of CPR.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't do the whole mouth to mouth chest compression. Blah blah blah. That's where somebody's like, there's no pulse and they're like out. That's when you do all that stuff. But if there's a pulse, if it just seems they can't breathe, you only do certain parts of it and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think it was like a good thing to know, but it's also sort of...
Most people don't know it, though.
They don't. No. Like, they think, in like 3 pushes, staying alive,
they'll cough up the water, and then they're good.
And then everything's fine.
No brain damage, No,
nothing.
Like, she's been dead 10, 15 minutes. She should wake up probably with some brain damage.
Well, no, because they were saying one of the reasons why she said to do it was because of how cold the water was.
That's true,
right?
That's true.
And actually, that is true. Like, the coldness can, because there's reduced blood flow and all that stuff already, it can help. But I don't think it'll help as much as they are putting it out.
It's movie magic.
Yeah. Because she woke up fully cognitive and all her faculties are working and she was good to go. And I'm like, no, you'd be disoriented and feeling gross.
Yeah.
And,
I love how we're okay with an alien, underwater alien civilization coming up to the surface of the Pacific or Atlantic, wherever they are, and we're hung up on CPR.
But that's the thing. They didn't even really explain where the aliens came from or why.
No.
They literally just said, they've been here a while.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, though. I hate when they try to over-explain stuff.
Yeah,
like in movies where why did the zombie apocalypse happen? I don't care. Mm-hmm. And the people shouldn't probably know, the survivors in the movie. They probably never find out.
Like, probably not.
And the explanation is always stupid, or not always, but 90% of the time it's bad and dumb.
Like, a movie like 28 Days Later is a great movie,
mm-hmm.
but the zombie apocalypse started because of rage. Seriously, guys.
Rage monkeys.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're infected with rage. Oh. I mean, I understand not trying to explain too much, but come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So it's better they didn't explain where they came from. I don't want to know.
But like, it just, my thing is though, it's that the type of aliens they are just seems incredibly impractical.
Mm-hmm.
That was my only real quandary about it. Like, it's fine if they're aliens trying to teach us a lesson or trying to get us to value life or something. I really don't understand what their point was, but at the same time, like, they seem kind of... Actually, no. You know what? No. I'm going to change that. Maybe they are practical because, 70%, 65% of the Earth is covered in water.
Mm-hmm.
There's more water than land.
Yeah.
So technically... And
we've explored, like, 5% of the ocean.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, the inhabitants that are, quote-unquote, intelligent, depending on how you...
Mm-hmm.
measure intelligence, are above land.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, the conspiracy guy, I think, brings up the theory that they didn't start on Earth, that they're aliens and they had a planet of water, or like it's a really quick comment he makes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what he says, but he thinks they came here.
So they came from somewhere else.
They didn't evolve here.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how you would evolve underwater as a like that, but I mean that was his theory. The guy with the rat.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's a really quick. He says it like.
I know he brings up conspiracies. I don't remember him saying.
I'm pretty sure it was him. But I can't.
Because he says like 10 things about military and tracking and
the CIA is coming after his man.
Yeah. But I don't remember him saying anything about that.
Oh, speaking of the rat, do you think that's animal abuse? Because that scene's real, where they drown the rat without. I remember reading about it. That stuff actually exists.
Yeah.
And that scene with the rat's completely real.
Oh, they actually did that.
Oh yeah.
No, that is animal.
Yeah,
I think that's animal abuse.
I mean, they do it all the time. I mean, to test that stuff out. I can't remember what it's called, but they must have done it 100 times on other rats. But that's completely animal abuse.
It is like that. I thought that was like like you can get those cups that have like water in the side of it that you can freeze. I thought it was like a trick with like one of those, and it was just.
I'm pretty sure I read it's real. I could be wrong, but because Cameron's obsessed with that stuff, because he's obsessed with the ocean, and this is like his pet project that unfortunately didn't do very well.
No, but I'm not really surprised that stuff is real.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised that he was allowed to do that in a movie.
Yeah, me too.
And I know technically the animal wouldn't die, but now you've also traumatized the animal.
Yeah, it probably died later of a heart attack
or some. Oh god, that's horrible.
Or who knows? Maybe some animal, or maybe some rats did die. Like they must use more than one rat.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's what the filming.
But I mean, those were pretty well trained rats. Like they just crawled around.
Just sat on his shoulder.
Just hung out and didn't like when people went to go pick it up and stuff. It didn't like squeal or try to run away or anything weird like that. So, but I think that is animal cruelty though.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
I'm surprised he was allowed to get away with that.
Yeah, I hope I'm not wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I was like that scene too when Ed Harris was like, getting used to it or whatever. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You're drowning.
Yes, you are. And
that's why waterboard is such a good torture, because all you do is pouring water down someone's mouth, but it makes your brain think you're drowning, and you just want to fight it with every urge. And I don't.
You can't.
Yeah.
Because they hold you down. They restrict you from it, right?
Yeah. So it's
but that one Marine though makes a comment when that's happening. He's like, you breathed in liquid for like 9, but that is not true.
Oh, is that bullshit?
Of course that's bullshit. One of the reasons why when like a baby cries, like you have to smack it to like breathe, is because it never breathed before. Like that's the whole point.
Oh. Right?
It's getting all this nutrition, all that kind of thing.
I don't know. How's it breathing?
I don't think you're actually breathing when you're in the womb. I don't think you breathe like. But
does its mouth open? The baby's mouth thing? I don't know. I'm really bad in that.
I don't know.
Babies.
I tell you the truth, I'm not sure, but I probably should have looked it up, but I think that comment is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, because it seemed sort of ridiculous and kind of like a throwaway.
But he's a Navy SEAL medic. He couldn't be wrong.
No, he's not. Was he the medic?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's still a movie.
I'm just
kidding.
Care. Yeah, it's
whatever.
James Cameron wrote it, so who knows?
Who knows? He was just like, let's say something cool.
I'm king of the world.
But I don't know, like he said that so like, see now I feel like I should look it up, but he said it so flippantly and I was just like, I don't think that's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, dumbass, you were drowning, but you underwater for 9 months. Like,
just take a deep breath. What? No. Apparently though, when a baby's born, 90% of its amniotic sac is urine. So why are you breathing that? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know whatever you just said, I have no idea what that is.
So when a baby is inside of the mommy...
How does the baby get there?
Oh, God.
I'm learning so much today.
You're killing me. Sorry. You are killing me. It's great.
That's what I'm here for.
So, do you want to move on to the quote-unquote me being sarcastic cinematic film that is accepted?
It'd be kind of hard to segue these two movies.
Yeah, they're so very... very different.
It's so different.
They technically both have sing-alongs because there's like that concert where everybody's singing and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I'm not as much as. Sorry. Okay, I saw this movie in theaters with my friend Laura.
So did I.
And I remember actually liking it, and we both had a good time watching it last night. Oh no. I laughed a few times, and I was embarrassed by a couple of them, but
no, I actually think there's legitimately funny moments in the movie.
Yeah.
But I realized, I guess maybe I'm an adult now because I was like, all of these things are wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's so wrong.
I'm the Jonah Hill in the movie. Like, you need insurance. You're going to get sued.
Yeah.
You've committed mail fraud. You've done all these things that he's done. He would not get accredited. He would go to prison.
He would just be arrested and be in prison.
Yeah.
That would be it, because he stole millions of dollars. Yeah. No, because they only counted the first 100 checks, which was $1 million.
That's a good point.
And then they had a whole bunch of mail left
there's
over.
There's 300 students, and it was $10,000 a semester. So
isn't that $3 million?
I think so. We can't do math right. Wherever, usually.
Yeah, but that's millions of dollars from people that they just stole and spent on stuff.
Because Justin Long's so funny and gosh darn cute,
Jesus.
Give him a school. We'll give him 1 year probation.
Because I think he was supposed to be like the wannabe Ferris Bueller type. That was like the next stage in, being the witty Ferris Bueller, you know? But the difference is between him and Ferris Bueller is that Ferris Bueller was smart. He was part of all the clubs. He would have gone into college or university easily. Whereas him, I don't even remember what his... Bartleby,
which is a stupid name.
Which is ridiculous.
Sorry, Bartleby's, any fans out there?
Yes. He wasn't able to get into any college or university or anything. Yeah. But he was able to strong-arm what he calls his best friend into creating something fraudulent.
This movie should have been called White Privilege.
Oh my God, yeah.
It really should have been.
Oh my God. Yeah, because you imagine if it was the black kid.
Oh, no.
They would show up, beat the crap out of him.
Plant some drugs on him.
Oh my God, I know. But, even the first scene in the movie, he's there making fake IDs, which, again, arrested, illegal. And then it just gets worse.
Oh, also, at no point did I ever believe he was a high school student or first-year university or college student.
Nobody in that movie did.
No.
Nobody in that movie.
They're all in their mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Yeah.
Maybe Blake Lively looked a little bit younger than everyone else, but...
I thought they all looked...
most Hollywood movies and TV shows have this problem.
Yes, they do. Well, because
it's not just this movie, but...
No, but you can actually hire an 18-year-old. It's not that difficult to do.
Yeah.
But all of these people looked their age, which was 25 and up. Yeah. So it's like, this isn't... I know it's not 90210 anymore. You're over that. People are on to you. Have teenagers look like teenagers. That would be great.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would have been a nice touch. But it wouldn't fix this movie.
It would not fix this movie at all. Because... Oh my goodness! I have so many questions.
Wait! Why do you own it? That's my only question.
I have no idea.
I have some crap too. I can't judge.
Maybe it was because, like I said, I saw it like you. I saw it in the theater. And I was like, I like this movie. And then one day, there's no way I paid more than $5 for that.
Okay, good.
There's no way. And I was just like, yeah, I should add this to my collection, and then forgot about it. I don't even know, because I was watching this and I was like, what is wrong with me? This is not a thing. I do enjoy Glenn, though. He's the guy who's the chef.
Oh, I hated him. He was... I didn't laugh at one of his jokes, except one at the end, I think. I can't remember what it was, though. But I remember I was embarrassed at myself that I laughed at it.
Oh, no.
I didn't like him.
I love how ridiculous he is, and his t-shirts are glorious.
See, I remember loving him when I saw it. So was it 12 years ago? Or?
It came out in 2006.
Okay, 12 years ago. So yeah, I thought he was funny. I thought everyone was funny in it. Mm-hmm. I actually did not remember Jonah Hill was in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's so weird seeing a fat Jonah Hill now.
Yeah, he looks
so different.
He looks so different.
Yeah, good for him.
But also I think just generally his persona has changed. He doesn't do... he was in Wolf of Wall Street where he was still kind of the fat guy, but he was the cleaned up fat guy.
Yeah.
He had the sweat, he had the fake tan and his greased back hair and all that kind of stuff. Constantly coked out, and the big chiclet teeth, Yeah. So, but you tend to forget where he came from. If you watch Superbad and stuff like that, you're just oh my God, that is Jonah Hill.
In my head, Superbad's the first movie I remember him being in. I did not remember him, Blake Lively, the redhead. I know her from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Is she Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah, she's the wife of the Virgin.
Oh, that's right.
He's in 30 Rock.
Yeah.
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 And she's been in a few other things.
Okay, I didn't remember her from anything.
When you look at her now, she looks very different.
Okay.
But again, IMDb credits are really long, 60 credits. She does TV shows here and there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't Glenn, the cook guy. I don't remember him from anything else.
No, I don't know.
The black guy too. I don't remember him from anything else. His mother I recognize from other things, but the father I don't recognize from anything else.
Lewis Black, obviously.
Lewis Black was in there, so of course recognize him from stuff.
I actually kind of enjoyed him in this again.
Well, yeah. I literally think he didn't have a script. They're just like, here's a topic rank. Go ahead.
Yeah. They saw The Daily Show and like, we need him in our movie.
And that was it.
Because this was the height of Jon Stewart and him on The Daily Show.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and I laughed a lot at his stuff.
His stuff, yeah. I liked his
I love his rants.
Yeah. But what I thought was really funny is the fact that, so you know how they had the montage about college destroys your life montage where, Justin Long, he goes to university, he's like, people are just in class.
This is so boring.
It's so boring. But tell you the truth, yes, Lewis Black is like much more enthusiastic than the other teachers, but he's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So what's the difference exactly? Like, I don't know. I don't understand, I mean, I understand the point of the movie, but that point of the movie is so wrong.
It's so dumb.
So wrong.
Taking long walks and thinking about your inner self and it's not going to ever get you a job.
No,
these kids are screwed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did do, for example, like the skateboard kids, and they did the half pipe or whatever, learn physics and engineering and stuff. But I'm like, so to do that, you picked up a book and read it, right? So.
Yeah. I hated the skateboard kids. Like when they kept jumping into pools with like motorcycles and
for no reason.
And I was like Jonah Hill's right. When one of them gets hurt, the student's gonna get schooled and be shut down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what.
We're adults, Tracy.
It's horrible. It's absolutely
it is terrible.
Horrible. Also, the redhead with her abuse of power for the ESL kids she was teaching.
Oh yeah.
So remember that she's like, no, I told them to properly assimilate and pass this class. You have to show up and pretend to be a college student. I'm like, that is a absolute abuse of power. Yep. Like, that is not right.
No.
That is not right at all.
Most characters in this movie are not good.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the treatment of women in this movie is really bad.
It is really bad. Because they do the whole womanizing thing where they just literally sit around.
One of the classes is Boobies 101 or something.
Yeah, I was like, what?
This should not be a school.
What's wrong with you people? That is not a school.
Well, I mean, they're college kids, so I'd probably do the same thing then.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's why you need supervision and some guidance to not do that.
Well, because the thing is like I understand the antagonist, the guy from
the crusty dean,
who
was. Sorry,
but technically he was correct.
Oh yeah.
He was correct for the wrong reasons, but he was correct.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't think it is a farce on education systems. Fine, right? But the reason why he came to that conclusion was because he wanted a giant walkway for his university, which is nonsense.
Well, at least he wasn't trying to close an orphanage or something like in other movies, or close down the frat.
Jesus.
crusty old dean things that they always want to do.
That they usually do, yeah. And put people on like triple probation and stuff. Like, what are you gonna do? But like how he went about it was incorrect. Yes, but it's true. Like, it's not a school. There's no teachers. There's no accreditation. It's just random kids doing whatever they feel like and taking lots of money and paying for it. And that was correct.
So these are all rich kids too, because they all somehow easily have $10,000, and there was no scholarships, no nothing. So everyone there is privileged, rich.
No, remember, there's the girl who used to be a stripper.
Oh,
who gave all her $1 bills or whatever.
The other main female character.
Yes, who was there? Who did the fashion show and stuff?
Oh,
yes.
okay.
The school uniform line included bikinis.
Yeah.
Like
I was watching when they did the group photo. Every single woman at the school is hot.
Yeah, which is
ridiculous. It wasn't even that many.
Yeah,
and it's so ridiculous.
But I don't know if they're all privileged. I think they're just kids that went to university, they got accepted to university, and like Bartleby, his parents were just like, we're proud of you, here's the money for your tuition.
Yeah.
And I think really that's what happened. It's not necessarily that they were privileged, it was just the fact that their parents were able to give them the money to go to school because they got accepted to university.
I mean, okay, even if they weren't privileged then you're taking advantage of underprivileged people who are using that money.
I agree.
And that's just one semester, so that's $20,000 a year at this non-school.
They had their meeting in October, I think, was their board meeting or whatever. So they were open for a month and a half. That's half a semester gone.
Yeah.
And they spend a ton of money on pools and keggers and half pipes and pizza and raves. And, like, I love the fact that they had parents day all of a sudden, but, like, wouldn't your parent check up on you before that?
It doesn't seem like they're that far, because a lot of the kids are from Justin Long's school. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like they're that far away.
Yeah. So, like, I don't understand also why he'd have to be in a dorm then if he's, like, 3 blocks away from school, like, his home. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The plucky little sister figures it out, but the dumb parents don't. Yeah. What was surprising to me, tuition was $10,000, and that included a dorm room?
I think so. Oh, and they got to pick their own dorm room and pick the size.
Yeah. I was just like, what? Yeah. But that first day, too, they were expecting, like, 5 people. Mm-hmm. And they clearly say in the beginning, they're not cleaning the whole place. They're only cleaning specific sections. So where did all those people go when they showed up?
The first class must have been, like, Construction 101. now you're going to learn drywalling. Now painting.
But they also weren't stopping every single parent from going in. I know they physically stopped one parent.
It's such lazy writing. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. Like, also, I think Blake Lively is a gold digger, but go ahead.
A gold digger? Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Why?
Well, she likes the frat douche.
Yeah, she's been dating the frat douche. Yeah. Who's very rich. Yeah. Right? She has obviously been friends with Bartleby for years because they were sitting on the couch and they're talking about like grade 7 and all that kind of stuff. So she's known him for a very long time. Yeah. But it was nice to him, but pretty much ignored him. But only noticed him after, like, that camera and those lenses, that's easily $1,000, $1,500. Oh. So, and she's like, oh, that's really nice of you, thanks, without being remotely, like, weirded out by that expensive of a gift from someone that you're not dating, you're not best friends with.
That's a good point. It's almost like she's a badly written character. It's very...
Oh, I know. It's shocking, right? I'm like, ooh, they didn't really think about it.
She has no personality. All we know about her is she likes photography. Yeah. And, I guess, rich guys. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for him to like her except that she's hot.
Exactly.
It's just... She laughs at his jokes. Like, Justin. I don't know.
Yeah. She doesn't do anything in the movie.
No, she doesn't. She's just there to be pretty. Mm-hmm. Which it's not her fault. It's just... I've liked her in other stuff.
Really?
A couple things.
Really? Name one thing.
The Oliver Stone one she was in. The guy from John Carter was in it too. Drug dealers take her, and the guys have to get her back. I kind of liked her in that. And
is that the one that had like Selma Hayek?
Yes, she was one of the main.
I didn't even see that.
And wasn't she in that shark movie, The Shells?
I didn't see that one.
I think it's her. I liked her in that. Okay. Great movie. It falls apart in the last 10 minutes, but. Yeah. She hides from the shark on a dead whale. I
don't find anything wrong with her per se. Yeah. I just don't think she does anything.
True. She's nothing spectacular about her.
She's just kind of there.
She's a typical hot blonde Hollywood actress.
And she's very shallow. Seems mean to say
because we don't. I mean, it's not. Is it her fault or is it the character? How she's written or that she plays?
Well, exactly.
I mean, if she's not getting the role she wants, who knows?
Yeah. She's like, no, I need to make some money. I'll do this one. That's all that's going to happen. And that was pretty early in her too. So it's probably her big break. Yeah, probably. She's like, I'm just going to do it. I don't. Yeah. You wouldn't say no to it.
It was a decent budget movie and
it clearly
wide release,
decent budget. And I think that was Justin Long. He's famous. Boom.
He has not done anything in a while. I was looking at his line. He's done some voice acting. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. I don't remember him being in much after Die Hard 4.
Maybe he just hit the jackpot and was looking good.
Maybe. I don't...
Because that happens. I mean, people do it.
It's true. Working on movies, we probably think it's really fun, but it's tedious work.
Oh, it's
long
very
days.
Tedious work. Yeah.
Especially big blockbusters, with the green screen.
Oh, yeah. That would be boring.
So boring.
Yeah. And usually, a shot needs to be shot, I think it's 4 times on average. Yeah. Just to get, the different angles so they can edit things together correctly and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's just...
And except it is so well made, they probably did each shot 10 times.
And they're just no, we need you to have some feeling, some emotion in this scene, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And also, I think, the people in the movie had some really sad stories. Mm-hmm.
The penguin?
Yeah. He's like, this is the first time my parents have been proud of me. That's horrible.
They all have crappy, awful parents.
Horrible.
I can't be proud of you unless you go to college.
Yeah. Well, no, but by saying, that's the first time they have ever been proud of me, that's That's mean. That's ridiculous. Or even like his friend, like the black guy, he lost his scholarship because he broke his leg, and then he couldn't get into any other school, and then his parents were like, "You have to go to college." So he ended up there. Like, that's really sad. Because
his other option was working at Uncle something or.
Oh yeah, a bus driver.
A bus driver. Sorry, yeah, being a bus driver.
Yeah, his dad was really excited about that.
So it's bus driver or go to college. There's no in between.
There's no in between. Yeah. And there was, what's the other story? Oh, and those parents that dropped off the really big dude.
Oh yeah.
I was like, well, he's your problem now, and they ran away. And I was like, well, who are these parents?
Maybe this is why the school gets away with it for a month and a half because they're all crappy parents,
and they do just leave the kids there,
or they probably know it's fake and they just don't care.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't care. Just take him away. Just take him away.
Does that big guy ever come back? I don't remember him in any other scene.
He's in the background of 2 scenes or something. But he doesn't really do anything. Okay. Because I know, for example, the scene where he does his big speech of, this is our school and blah blah blah. He's in the background and he finally cheers or whatever. And then there's
that's right.
They have the big party or whatever, and he goes through a background. No, it's the part where the Zoot Suit guys come and he's behind them and they decide not to fight for so long. He's there. Yeah. But it's 2 seconds.
So another problem I had with the movie, it reminded me of the frat douche and the dean. They're staples in these kind of movies, and they're both of them are so boring. There's nothing I think I like Bradley Cooper in The Wedding Crashers. Yeah, he's a good bad boyfriend for the the love interest that she'll eventually dump and go with the main guy. Or the dean in Old School.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's just
no, but he has a reason to hate them.
Yeah,
it's not it's coming out of nowhere. He's he knows who they are, and Jeremy Piven. That's it.
Yeah,
and he knows who they are. They've been mean to him since
he has a good reason.
Yeah, he has a good reason to hate them. So he's on a vendetta. Yeah. Compared to all these other movies where you're just you just want to be a jerk. Yeah. Gotcha.
But at least they're interesting. Even oh god, what's the first one? The one with John Belushi.
Oh my god, my brain's gonna die right now.
Animal House.
Yeah, there you
go. That dean's at least interesting. He's yelling. He's every time they get one up on him, he's shaking his hands.
But they do some horrible things.
That movie did not age well.
Yeah, no.
I think there's date rape in that movie. It's kind of like I'm watching Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. He that straight up rapes a woman.
Yeah, that movie does not age well.
But then she falls in love with him because nerds are better than jocks.
But that's still horrible.
What a terrible message. Yeah,
that's really, really bad.
Yeah. Oh, another thing about this movie is it seems like after they party, they kind of imply they're having sex as orgies, sort of they're waking up next to each other, even though they're clothed. It's PG. Yeah. But this school will be riddled with STDs. Oh my god! There'd be a lot of problems.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I noticed wrong with this movie. One of many.
It's just The thing is when I watch these movies, I have when a movie is good, I have so few notes on it because I'm it's good for a reason. Yeah. But when a movie's bad, I'm just these 350 things are wrong.
Actually, honestly, I'm having an easier time talking about this than The Abyss. I don't know. There's so many things I could talk about The Abyss that I love, but I don't want to ramble. But things are popping in my mind about why I hate this movie. Not hate it, but maybe hate it.
I mean, I think hate for me is a strong word. But at the same time, I'm this is not a good quality film or anything.
No. One good thing when Jonah Hill was in the wiener suit, and he's what does he say? Want to touch my or can I touch
Ask me about my
wiener? And he does a little thing with a hand. That was okay. That made me laugh. Yes, that was good.
But they are cruel to him.
Oh yeah.
They are I've never understood the whole why people want to put themselves through hazing.
I really wonder if it's that bad. I wonder if movies just make it worse than it is.
No, but there have been frat houses shut down. People have died because of hazing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how prevalent it is. That's for sure. And maybe the thing is in the movies is that they bring out all the worst aspects of it. Yeah. Fine, but it's horrible. Yeah. It's absolutely horrible. To me, I kind of hope it's more in Neighbors, with
I like both those movies. Seth Rogen and the guy from the Disney, Zac Efron.
Zac Efron, yeah. But where the guy's freaking out, he pulls him aside, he's like, you know what, just let me know and we'll take care of you, blah, blah. Whereas, like, the hazing is like a farce. Yeah. But they really do actually care about the kids and stuff. Yeah, I would hope that Whereas these movies, it's like, no, we want to make sure you're tortured.
But they were only hazing him because he's fat and different.
But maybe it's because we only saw they were hazing him.
Oh, that's true. That's true. There were some other
focus. Yeah, because there were other pledges. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, they always just seem so horrible and cruel in the movie.
Yeah, so, so the frat douche is cruel and mean, but somehow Blake Lively dates him for, let's say, a year or two. Like, who knows how long.
It's the same thing in all
I know. I hate that trope so much, though. I wouldn't want to date somebody who dated an a-hole like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hate that trope.
Yeah, because I don't, like, because they are so... The problem is, like, if a person is subtly mean... Mm-hmm. I can understand why you might not pick it out right away. Yeah. But in all these movies, they are outwardly and actively cruel to not just their significant other, but to everybody in their life. I'm like, you're a nice person, but you're dating a bully, clearly a bully. Yeah. And why would you want to be with a person like that? Yeah. It makes no sense.
I mean, she leaves him pretty quickly. Like, he cheats on her at a party. He doesn't even lock the door. Yeah. Like, it's just lazy writing, again. It is. Everything about this movie is lazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's the blatant, straightforward excuse for her to walk away.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Okay, it's that time of the movie now. Yeah. Okay, you got to leave him. And
and then
now you got to start thinking of Justin Long.
Yeah, she literally walks from one place to the next. Yeah. And she has a new boyfriend. And you're just like, wait, what? What kind of person are you exactly? Like, this isn't... Yeah. That's not right in either situation.
Give her some time.
Yeah, just give it a minute. Be by yourself. Reflect for a minute, you know?
Or she's one of those people who have to always be in a relationship.
Or something.
Which they do exist.
They do exist. Yeah. But, I mean, I think that's just nuts. Yeah. I think it's absolutely nuts. Yeah. So,
I 100% agree. I think we're on the same page as this movie.
Yeah. Also, one thing at the end, it's like, when he's like, oh, we don't need teachers. We're all teachers. I'm like, no, you need teachers.
Yes, you do need teachers.
You need, even if you're not in a classroom and you're building a half pipe, you need a teacher to be like, no, if you do that way, it's going to fall down. Do it this way.
How does, I wish I knew his name. How does a black character know how to do the African erotic art? Like, who taught him that? Did he teach himself that?
Oh, based on the movie, the wood speaks to him.
Ugh. That's horseshit.
He just did it himself. Okay? All right. So they bought a whole bunch of power tools. They had no safety instructions. But he's making this beautiful art and still has all his fingers. Yeah. So, whatever. Okay.
I like to see the second semester, see what happens. That's when everything goes downhill.
So some guy's got like an eye patch. The other guy's missing 3 fingers. That guy somehow lost a toe.
The real Harmon College is suing them for using their name. Yeah. Like that lawsuit's going to happen.
Of course it's going to happen because it's not a real institution. You're calling us your sister school. We have no affiliation with you. You have to change your name. Yeah, they can't be shitheads anymore.
Exactly,
they have to be something else. You know,
real clever, accepted.
Oh god! And oh my god, and their colors being that brown and baby blue. I was like, oh come on, guys, this is just. I get it. And their mascot was a sandwich. And
it's so on the nose.
You're not even trying to be witty about it. You're just right on the surface. You're just going right with it.
I wish I had a time machine. I could just sit behind myself watching this movie as as a 36-year-old to a 24-year-old and just like, you're laughing at that? Why?
I'd smack myself in the head every time I laughed at something. I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
That's not funny.
Actually, the part I did laugh was when they first went to the school, like when it was still the asylum. Yep. And like the body fell off and Schrader just was screaming for like 5 minutes. Yeah. That gets me every time.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It's really funny.
But what do they do with that body? Did they just then hide it?
I don't think it's a real body.
Oh, do you think it's just like a mannequin? Okay.
They never clarify that. Because just by how calm they are, I assumed it was.
But it looked like there was hair and flesh on it, so that's why.
It was wearing like a shirt and pants.
But it could have been a dead homeless crackhead.
That is true. Yeah. That is really true.
That actually reminds me. One of the jokes Jonah Hill makes when they walk in there, he's like, "This is where crack was invented." Like there's such lazy jokes. The only jokes I kind of laughed at were when Justin Long was making fun of the frat douche. Like, I can't remember what he said to him. He said something like, "Don't you need to go stop minorities from getting into your yacht club?" Like there's a couple lines like that. I thought, okay, that's kind of funny. I like that one. Yeah, some of his lines were decent.
Yeah.
But overall, man, just a lot of lazy.
But also, wasn't his friend the black guy the only black guy in the whole school?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought I noticed that too.
Yeah, he's a token black guy.
Yeah. So, like, we need diversity. We have a white woman, 2 white guys. Let's get a black guy.
You should have just been happy he wasn't killed off.
That is true. He lived.
Yeah, he lived. So that's progress.
He wasn't arrested. He wasn't
2006.
He didn't get addicted to drugs because he could have been on painkillers the whole time.
He wasn't a bad stereotype either. He was just a regular guy, which was, I guess, good.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like that character in the Meg.
Oh,
sorry to bring that up again, but
it's fine. It's fine. It's fresh in our minds. We just saw it. It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, this is so racist. Yeah, the character DJ in the Meg is.
You know what's really bad is that I laughed quite a bit because I'm like, oh, that's so horrible.
I was laughing at how bad it was, like, which is
you're laughing at it, not with it.
Yeah, because it wasn't funny.
Yeah, but the thing that made his character work. I'm like, no, that's how black people really are because. Like,
what, cowards?
No, but he's not a coward. What he's saying makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's a giant thing. Let's get off of this shit
I see,
go find the military and come back.
That's
and they're like, no, let's just go down and check it out.
He's what a non-action star would want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that makes sense
I see what you're saying.
Because, like, when I'm watching horror movies, 95% of the time, it's a white girl who hears a noise in a dark basement and is like, let me check it out without a flashlight, walks down the stairs and gets murdered.
Yeah.
Black people are going to be like, don't go down that stairs. I am closing the door, going the opposite direction, and getting out.
I'll never open that door again.
Yeah, no, that place doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. I'm going to go outside, burn the house down.
But what if your DVD collection's down there? Uh-oh.
Well, I'm not watching DVDs anymore.
Well, this has been the last podcast.
I'm sorry to say, people.
Yeah.
The DVD collection was burnt. I heard a noise in the basement. It had to go.
The haunted basement.
That's it. Yeah, there's no way I'm going down there. Are you crazy? Mm.
Yeah, I'm too scared. I never could.
No. But that's the thing with movies like Accepted and even The Meg. There's always a character that makes actual sense that nobody listens to.
Until, Jonah Hill, I guess.
Until like 3 people are dead.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, maybe we should have done what that guy did, but now he's dead, so let's do something else.
Yeah.
You know, you just said, what?
Yeah,
what?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe DJ in The Meg isn't too bad.
Yeah. I mean, he does hype up his blackness all the time.
Yeah.
But to me, he made sense, you know? He's like, no, let's not just go in our tiny submersible to check out the thing, or not have Jason Statham just go swimming in the water with a spear gun.
Well, he's got to save the woman he just met 30 minutes ago that he's now in love with.
And he's in love with and his daughter. They bonded with his daughter, it was a whole thing. Jeez.
We actually like the movie, by the way.
The movie. Oh, trust me, the movie is worth watching.
Super entertaining.
It's very entertaining. The word I like to use is glorious. It's just turn your brain off and just enjoy the ridiculous splendor of it. But if you actually pay attention to the movie and analyze anything, it will break you.
Yeah.
That is the problem. There is so much wrong in the decisions they make, the physics of stuff that they do within it. Just like the fact that there's no character building in the movie at all. Everybody stays the same at the beginning and the end, except for the people who are dead, because then they're dead. Yeah.
But character building would get in the way of Statham's awesome one-liners, which I really found funny. So I'm not sorry, I wasn't sarcastic. I actually did enjoy it.
Yes. Oh, trust me, there was a lot of laughing and enjoyment.
For the 4 of us,
and there was a couple of like really solid jump scares in there.
Oh yeah, true. That's true.
So there was good stuff. Like it's a solid shark movie.
Yeah, like it's everything I wanted.
You know, it's exactly what you expect when you go watch that movie. You know, but good or quality are not words that go with it. No. But that's just like this, except it is.
It's not as fun.
It's not quality either.
No,
it's not glorious, or it's just sort of like you said. It's lazy writing, with lazy acting, a bad storyline that's kind of detrimental, really, when you think about it.
It hits every single college movie trope. Not very well most of the time.
Very true.
I don't know what else to say. What else do you say about it?
It's kind of mean in several ways.
Yeah, well, how so?
Because you have the mean parents.
Everybody's
parents are mean for some reason. Then you have the hazing.
The hazing.
The hazing, right? And then you have how they present education as a pointless endeavor when, of course, that movie's marketed to people who would be going into or are at college at the same time. And then you show adults, except for the quote-unquote crazy uncle, as being morons.
Yeah,
really.
It's true.
Which is not correct, you know? And I hate the fact that this makes me sound like an actual adult, because it's really frustrating to me. But at the same time, like, it's a really bad message this movie is sending. Like, do whatever legal thing you can do. Do whatever you want. But if you make a rousing speech at the end, everything will be fine.
I go back to the white privilege thing. Yeah. He gets away with everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I think it's nonsense, really. It's
really
really bad. If you switch it where it was 90% Asian or black or Middle Eastern people, no, they would have just been arrested and thrown in jail. There's no committee coming up to check anything. There's, even if they got their insurance for the school, they put together a med lab. You're not accredited. You took a bunch of money. That's fraud. You lose the school. You're going to get sued by 600 people or 300 people.
There's 300, I think.
And you're going to be in jail.
Yeah.
Your life is ruined. That's it. You know?
Oh, it'll teach him a lesson.
Yeah. But didn't he actually get arrested, though? Like, when they had the Parents' Day?
No, I don't think so.
Because the dean came.
The state troopers were there, yeah. But you never saw him in jail. You never saw him leaving jail. Or prison, whatever.
Maybe there's a special extended edition that shows it.
Oh.
With
pause the podcast.
28 extra minutes of material that explains all of it. His night in jail and everything.
It's the exact same ending as The Abyss. Wait, what?
Why like the aliens are coming up from the ocean?
Why are the waves trying to destroy South Harmon Institute of Technology?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this was actually a quick movie. Like, it's rare that I get to watch a movie now. It's just an hour and 30 minutes or 32 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah,
it did really fly by.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was also because it was just, it's a whole bunch of nothing, so it doesn't weigh you down and you're not really thinking too much about it. You're just agape with shock half the time that this is what they're doing in the movie. What? Yeah, and he also abuses the money that he gets for the school because he's got this 2 dorm room space that he painted all nicely.
Nice TV,
nice furniture. He's got the clap on, clap off, disco lights and all that kind of stuff. A bar. Yeah. I was like, and then he spent the money to buy the camera for Blake Lively's character.
Well, like, how else would he get her love?
That's what I said. Gold digger.
Yeah, I never thought
of that.
Gold
digger. Yeah. Okay. I know. No. Yeah. So my last note here, I was like, at the end of his speech, he's like, nobody can take away your experiences. I'm like, that's true, but they can put you in jail and ruin the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, totally.
And then you would have also ruined the life of 300 people who already had a crappy life in the first place, and just made it so much worse.
And they might have a great 4 years there. Let's say no one dies, don't get shut down, but they're not getting a proper job through this. I don't know. Maybe the black character might, because he makes African art pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, I did laugh at the big penis joke at the end. Yeah, sorry. I
mind the tip.
Yes. Yeah, I did laugh at that.
Of course.
And I'm not ashamed.
Of course you did. Oh my God.
But he's the only one I think who's getting anything out of it.
No, but I think the Glenn kid who's the cook, he's actually learning how to cook. He's actually making things happen, and he's pretty much become a chef.
But he's going to eventually blow that kitchen up and kill 5 to 6 people, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, he did some dangerous things in there.
Who did Glenn pick of the 3 girls? I don't remember. Remember?
You never picked them? Remember, like, after the big party, he ended up on the floaty in the pool with all 3
Yeah, and like, you gotta pick one of us, Glenn.
I don't think he actually picked them.
Oh, another good message.
Well, yeah. Well, see, the thing is now they have to do, like, a sequel to it that shows the 1-year extension and what they actually do, because they had to hire teachers and have a athletics facility built.
A library.
They had to have a library. That is more than $3 million.
Oh, easily, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
So I think that place was probably falling apart.
Yeah, universities and college don't just live off tuition; they live off sports and
donations
from alumni, and like there's no way they could.
Yeah. I mean, you can build a library based on donations and stuff.
Yeah. We have like one of those libraries like the homeless people have. Like, have you ever seen them? I see it walking to work. It's called like Homeless Library, and it's like I guess homeless people bring books to and from it.
What do you mean?
It's like it's on York Street under the overpass.
Okay.
It's a box with I'd say 10 to 15 books.
Yeah.
And it's a sign saying take one, leave one. And there's a guy who.
But it's not just homeless people do that. Like there's even in other neighborhoods where.
Oh no, but I think this one is just for homeless people.
Yeah.
Or the homeless guy runs it at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen him talking to other. Anyways, I went on a tangent. But,
yeah. No, but there's so what is that? It's actually called something specific.
Give a book, take a book.
Yeah, because there's people who have them on like their lawns and stuff, and there's always like 4 or 5 books in them, and people will come by and check.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I see that.
Put other things in there, and
sorry, I'm not sure why I brought it up now. I just thought it was fresh in my mind.
Creating the library.
Oh yeah. I'm saying it'll be just as good as that.
Yeah, just get some random.
Because I don't think any of these kids even want to read. Like most of them, they just want to ride dirt bikes into pools and stare at movies.
But if they want to build things, like one of the courses was the skateboarding one, and they built the ramp. You have to read and learn how to create things that can withstand the pressure and the forces of, people, swinging back and forth on these things. You have to read a book to get, your enforcement sizes and what materials to use and what kind of angles you should put things on and, weight restrictions and all that kind of stuff. You have to read books on that. So at some point in time, they are reading books. They're just focusing on the not reading book part.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
So what happens when the new semester starts or the new school year starts and word gets around about this school and how much fun it is and 100,000 people apply? They have to reject 99% of them.
Yeah.
And this whole philosophy is out the window.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
It's very flawed. Anyways.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that everybody gets accepted, but you can't physically accommodate everybody.
Yeah, that's why people get rejected. There's not enough space.
No, that's not enough.
Well, I mean, it's not the only reason, but there's not enough space.
Yeah, because you can't have, if you have a building that houses 400 people and you accept 10,000 people, you're in a lot of trouble.
But I assume Justin Long's going to do that because he's never going to turn that button off online. So.
Oh, jeez. Such nonsense.
It's so nonsense.
Such nonsense. There's so many logistics that you have to think about when you're running something like this.
Yeah.
Even if you consider, fine, they're just doing whatever they want for classes, fine.
Yeah.
How are you going to feed these people? How are you...
3 meals a day.
How are you housing a lot of
bathroom
these people?
And shower issues.
They didn't even clean the one bathroom.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They didn't clean it. It's because it's gross. Yeah. I wasn't going in there either.
They probably all have E. coli now.
Yeah. They're all like...
and herpes.
Well, no, they couldn't pee out the windows because all the windows are barred and stuff.
And at one point, someone just throws a TV out a window, not knowing if anyone's down below.
Yeah.
That could easily have killed somebody.
Yes.
Oh, I sound like a man.
You're such an adult.
I am. Get off my lawn, Tracy.
Stop shaking your fist at me. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, none of it makes sense.
Maybe that's why we liked it 12 years ago, because we were younger, and I actually just, within a year or two, I not flunked out, but I quit university. I never finished it. So I was probably like, yeah, take that, school.
You suck. That's exactly why I wasn't
That's right. Louis Black.
He knows the real thing. They're trying to oppress us. Oh
and I was like, oh, I wish I had my degree.
But the thing but Louis Black is the only one in the movie who actually was, yes, he ranted, but he was a teacher. Yeah. He was previously a teacher and got kicked out because of his philosophies. But he was a teacher.
And now he's selling shoes at the mall.
And he was like, and he had a class. Like, he sat there, he had a topic, he talked about that topic and disseminated information to people. Yeah. That's what he did. That's a regular class. You're sitting outside in the park.
But he's so good at it.
Inside a classroom. Yeah. There's always teachers that are going to be better than other people at lecturing, because I still remember classes. I don't remember this teacher's name, but I hate history. I hate history. I know you love history, but I have a real problem with classes and things where you just memorize things. I can't do that. Like, this war happened in 1862, blah, blah, blah.
There was no war then. Just kidding.
You're killing me.
No, I think there was actually.
Killing me. But I'm really horrible at memorizing, but I'm really good at concepts. That's why I was really good at, like, math and problem solving and physics and all that. Because, you don't necessarily need numbers, and you don't necessarily need to know a specific thing, but if you work out the concept in your head, you can come to the conclusion.
Yeah.
I'm really good at that. And we had a history teacher who taught us about the history of city building and structures like that. He never used dates. He didn't use time periods. He did use like Baroque and Renaissance, all that kind of stuff, which is fine. Yep. But he taught us concepts on how those societies function.
Was this an urban planning class? It was actually a history class.
It's a architectural history class.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so, for example, like, I still remember how Roman cities were built, right? It wasn't like this Roman city was built in this time period and it's shaped like this.
Yeah.
It was like, so, and he'd go on about, like, so, in Roman times, you know, the church was the center of the society, and what happened was when they found a new plane, they'd come, they'd bless it, and they would pick a spot, and their staff would go down in the middle of it. And that's why a lot of those Europeans, it's a circle in the middle, and then they fan out, because cities fan out from that. I remember that. Don't ask me what years those were.
It doesn't matter.
But, like, I understand the concept of it. And he was the first person that made history interesting to me, because he didn't make it on dates. He made it based on the point of history, like what the concept, how people ended up in a certain situation, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So, I mean, like, you need teachers who can teach people in different ways.
Yeah, which is what Lewis Black's doing.
Exactly what Lewis Black was doing.
And the teacher during the montage is doing the opposite.
Which was just literally like...
I think he had formulas on the chalkboard just pointing at them.
And he also went to the most boring... He went to like an accounting class. And I was like... And they were doing statistics of like, you know... I don't know, like net and mean earnings or something.
Not helpful for you. It's going to be boring. But if you want to get into NASA, you might need to know that.
But yeah, like it's just it's all ridiculous.
It's a very ridiculous movie. Yeah. We're probably thinking way too hard about a movie that should never have been thought about this hard.
But that's the problem when a movie's so bad. You're just like, what were you even... You didn't even try, man.
Didn't.
And then I went and paid for it and made you rewatch it and me watch it, and now we just talk about it.
Oh, you know what sucks? It was on Netflix last month, and then I went to watch it yesterday, and it wasn't there. I'm like, no, I missed it by 3 weeks or so. Because I swear it was there in July.
I mean, I could lend you the DVD.
No, I don't ever see it again.
You sure?
So I spent $3 on YouTube. That's how I watch.
Now you're giving. Now see, you're the reason why they keep making it. Okay?
Accepted 2.
$3 more. Yeah. Accepted 2 is going to come out. It's going to be a whole thing.
I'm going to sneak it into your DVD collection. We have to talk about it again. Yeah. But it won't be called Accepted 2. It'll be, I don't know. It'll be a different letter.
A little just later in the alphabet.
Rejected 2.
That's probably what it is. It's the point of view from like the people who applied to the college and then started getting rejection letters, or like, I thought you were supposed to accept people.
They get rejected from South Harmon, and then they start their own movie. There you go. You know what's a much better movie with the same concept? Do you remember Camp Nowhere? No. It's a kids movie. As I remember watching it in grade school. These kids, they want to go to they make this fake camp. They get their parents to pay for it. They get Christopher Lloyd as the fake camp counselor. Okay. Or I don't know what you call it, dean, or like the overseer of the camp. Yeah. And then it's just the kids run the camp. And back to Star Trek, Janeway's in it. She's one of the mothers.
Oh, really?
Chakotay is actually another father in it. Because I watched it not too long ago. And
really? Like they're both in it?
Yeah, they're both in it.
Oh, Jesus.
I think they're different parents for different kids. Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's funny. But it's a much better... I mean, I just have nostalgia for it because I loved it in probably grade school or early high school. Yeah. But it's the exact same concept.
But it aged better than this.
I mean, I think so.
Well, I guess, too, because there's less detriment to their future because they're probably like elementary school. And it's a summer camp. Yeah. It's not like university. That's the point of their whole future.
It's almost the exact same movie. Like, the kids, just like the Justin Long character, he's sarcastic. He's like a bit of a hustler.
Well, maybe what happened was somebody saw Camp Nowhere and like, let's age up these kids and put some risque jokes and make it PG.
Yeah. Boom. Instead of water gun fights, we'll have girls be half naked near the pool. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Gold. This is gold.
And they make daiquiris beside the pool and everything. You know, everything's good.
Oh yeah. After the Glenn guy made a daiquiri, then he suddenly was in the school. Remember, like, because he makes a daiquiri, gives it to Justin Long and Blake Lively, calls them about it, and they're like, "Oh, Glenn." So then they're walking to his dorm room, and then he runs out of the kitchen or something. It was like really bad continuity. Like, does he just make daiquiris?
I don't even remember that part.
Yeah, it was like right after the daiquiri phone call. And anyways, I just like, come on, guys, try a little harder.
But you have to realize Glenn is magical. You want to Glenn's wands. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah. What was that?
It was a thing that was filled with all of the nutritious.
He kept saying wad, and I was like, ew. Like it looked like he was chewing chewing tobacco.
Yeah. That was the whole point. Because remember when he first got it, he's like, "This is," and then he ate it, and he was like, "This is delicious." that was the whole point.
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't like the Glenn jokes. But I think I really did.
I'm sorry, the part where like the kitchen blew up and he comes outside, he's like, "I'm dealing with some very explosive herbs." I laughed at that one way too hard.
There was one Glenn joke near the end I laughed at, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, well, I want to think of it again.
Okay, I promise I won't make you watch this movie again. Yes. I promise.
Okay.
But everybody listening to this, you should totally watch it so you understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Don't pay for it, though.
No, download it.
Don't encourage that behavior.
I was just too lazy. I want to watch it on my TV. I didn't want to download it.
Wait, am I going to get in like some kind of legal trouble for saying that? Like, don't pay for it. Illegally download it. Yeah, no, I'm just going to.
The head of Universal is listening.
He's like, how dare she? The 12 people, no!
Oh, no, sorry. It was 20th Century Fox.
Okay.
Oh, and wait, that made me think of something. When Disney buys, they've already bought in 20th Century. Are we going to lose the, like the da 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 da? Is that going to be gone?
I doubt.
Sorry, it's just a side note. I hope not.
They'll probably still have because like with Pixar movies, they still have the Pixar thing at the beginning, and then they have the Disney thing.
I hope I
think they're going to keep
okay, good.
it.
They bet.
It's iconic.
It is. I love it.
Yeah, iconic, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought of that when I was watching the movie.
I hope that doesn't get lost.
It better not.
But no, what is it, TriStar? I used to remember TriStar. Yeah. That one used to be amazing, and you don't see that anymore. No,
there's a lot of them from the 80s and 90s that are gone.
Yeah.
Miramax was always pretty. I'm just kidding. that's a Harvey Weinstein joint. Just kidding.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, any final notes about Accepted?
Really, I just... Sorry, I threw up my mouth. Yeah, it was not. It was. I thought it was so much better than. I remembered it so much better than what it actually was.
Yeah, I remember it being a lot funnier and just generally more quote unquote relevant. I guess. Yeah. And then I watched this and I'm like, this is completely irrelevant and it's really not that funny.
It's not.
And then I laughed at a couple of inappropriate jokes and I was like,
just the tip was good.
Yeah.
We're the same person sometimes.
You're like, you guys aren't even trying, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because especially like the scene where they're in front of the committee and stuff, I was like, that's nonsense. Like that's.
Yeah. They would never like the old stuffy people on the board. I know later on he's like, I wish I was a trombone player. Yeah. But I mean, there's still rules and regulations you have to follow, and they didn't hit most of the criteria. There's no way
they didn't hit any of the criteria.
Yeah, they didn't have a faculty, they didn't have a library, they didn't have a sports facility.
Yeah, they didn't have a proper facility.
They should not be. Yeah. They would all lose their jobs. This board probably.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like they were given a year to get up to standard or whatever. Yeah. But for them to get up to standard the way they wanted to, they would have to shut down the school, build extensions and all that kind of stuff, fix a bunch of areas, and then get people back.
And find competent teachers who actually want to work there, which is not going to happen.
Which is not going to be an easy thing to do.
I mean, it sounds like they're going to teach themselves, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, no, they were told they have to get a faculty. Okay. They couldn't have the one teacher.
Well, then this school's going to suck to go to now.
Well, I mean, like they said, it's just about teaching in a different way. Yeah. Which is fine, I guess. But at the same time, I was like, no.
Yeah, we're thinking too hard about it.
Yeah, okay, we're doing it again. Okay, anyways.
Bad Tracy and Sean.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for being here.
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know you were a little nervous. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I was a little, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you did great.
I hope I didn't stammer too much.
Yeah. You talked about one of your favorite movies, The Abyss, and then you talked about a movie that is clearly not your favorite.
Nope.
Accepted. So
I want to think about it again.
Or maybe you're going to bed tonight and just overthink the movie again. Yeah. And then we'll have to have a big discussion about it separately. I promise, audience, we will not subject you to that discussion. Yep. I promise, yes. Anyways, that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. You can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at ohmyshelf, or you can send me emails at ohmyshelf@gmail.com. Next time, we'll be talking about adaptation and adventures in babysitting. Hope you'll be there to listen.